Today, the nation and our Tampa Bay community paused to honor the lives lost 23 years ago in the September 11th terror attacks. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay this midday. I'm Courtney Robinson.
I'm Frank Wiley. That number, 2,977 people were killed on that Tuesday back in 2001. And this morning, large crowds gathering to remember them at the World Trade Center in New York, the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Moments of silence were held at the exact times when 4 hijacked planes crashed in those attacks. Today, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris are visiting all of the sites.
Here at home, the ceremonies began before sun up. A group of Tampa firefighters climbed the 43 floors of the Bank of America building downtown in memory of fallen New York firefighters. Some of them went back up to reach 110 stories, the height of the Twin Towers.
Climbing is hard, both physically and mentally. It's hard to do. To go to a fire that's 110 stories up and knowing that you're going to have to take the stairs with all of your gear and you keep going just in hopes to save one life, that's what a hero does. And that's what those guys tried to do.
And that's what these guys do now in honor of those lives lost. Pure Fitness makes that stair climb possible every year.
And this morning, many military members and 9/11 survivors gathering at the Curlew Hills Memory Gardens in Palm Harbor. Governor Ron DeSantis telling the crowd it is important to remember those who died that day.
But to be able to meet so many people whose lives were turned upside down that day has been very touching. And I think it strengthens the resolve to ensure that we're doing everything we can to never forget.
The park will also shine its 9/11 memorial lights tonight from 8 until 10.
In St. Pete, veterans, first responders, artists, and neighbors came together at Rise St. Pete to reflect on the events of 9/11, the lives lost, and to honor community heroes. The Rise St. Pete Monument symbolizes America's resiliency. It is dedicated to the heroes, first responders, and all affected that day. I was honored to serve as MC for this morning's ceremony, along with cadets from Admiral Farragut Academy as our color guard. During the ceremony, the artist who created Rise St. Pete spoke about the symbolism that you'll find throughout. We heard from the military members and also the head of Admiral Farragut, who was living in New York at the time. The Warehouse District Arts Association also presented its inaugural Phoenix Awards, which honor a first responder, a community member, and artists who serve Tampa Bay.